Hi, friends. Welcome to Enlightened World Network. Dr. Ruth Anderson and Sue Broome here for messages from our loved ones. So we're so glad to have you here with us. The way that this show works is that we rely on our friends that are here with us on Facebook to put messages in the chat telling us who they're wanting to hear from, that somebody that they have loved and lost, somebody that's passed on. And then Sue pulls up her cards that she's created. We'll share those in just a moment. There we are. And we both feel into the energy of your loved one and we see what message is there. So glad to be here with Sue Broome. Sue, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. I enjoy our time together very much, Miss Ruth.
I do too. I do as well. So we would ask, Prachetta said, hello. Hello, Prachetta. So glad that you're joining us. So Prachetta, would you like to hear from somebody that you love? I think I know the answer to that. But we'll wait for Prachetta to tell us yes or no. There we go. Sue, why don't you, and Annie, hi Annie. So glad that you're here with us. If either of you would like a message from someone that you have loved and lost, please put that here in the chat and we will take a listen in.
Okay, I had you on mute, so I heard that Prachetta, and I think I heard, did I hear Annie?
Annie, yep.
Hello.
Annie would love a message.
Anybody in particular or just?
Yeah, just from anybody in particular, Annie, or we'll see what she comes up with. I'm already getting the message, Annie. So Annie is in the chimes.
I was going to say, I hear you chimes.
Oh, Annie says she's currently studying for her state boards for nail technician. Very cool, Annie. Very cool.
I just heard the words, the band's all here, so I don't know what that means. Very specifically, the band.
The band. Annie, remind me, please. She says, whatever comes up. Perfect. Okay. Remind me, is your son's name Grayson?
So I'm getting walk with me. And what it feels like is there's so many more messages that come through for you, Annie, when you are out in nature, because it's almost like you are so connected when you are walking in nature and you are able to be so much more open. It's like your antenna just kind of lights up, and that's when you are getting messages not only from loved ones, but I think from your soul, from your angels, and it's truly when you are in nature, when you are outside connecting with nature, and even when you are inside. If you are looking at a tree and able to connect, or if you're looking at flowers and able to connect, it opens you up on such a different level than when you're inside. Excuse me, when you're inside. So I would say get outside more. Even birds, little birds, or insects. You'll notice things when you're outside in nature so much more than when you're inside. And you know what these messages, who they're from, what they're about. I would say 99% of the time is what it feels like. So that's what I got.
Yep. And Annie's had a slew of folks that have crossed over, her parents, a nephew, a sister, other family members. Oh, okay. And she also channels pets. So I love what you said. The message that I'm getting, Annie, has to do with Grayson, and it has to do with your role in parenting him. Now, Grayson, Sue, I don't know if you can feel this, but Grayson comes with such energetic energy. It's such a strong energy, and he is one of these kids that is coming in with wisdom beyond his years. It just feels like for him to truly step into his spiritual purpose and path, he needs a special teacher. And Annie, that's why you're his mother, because you can teach him the animal channeling that you do. You can teach him about energy. You can teach him about spirit. You can teach him about the creator. And he feels, and I've worked with you and Grayson's energy before, but they're just reminding me that there is a reason that you are chosen to be his mother. And so much of it is about being that spiritual teacher. Yeah. And she's showing him how to connect. Yep. Yep. It's an acknowledgement of you and your skill set and your love of energy and spirit. It's an acknowledgement of that and a thank you, a gratitude to you. And she said, when he puts his hands on the dog, I ask where he's hurting and what he's thinking. Yeah, you're teaching him. And that's why he's with you. The world is better off for having Grayson in it. Grayson is going to figure out how to step into those big spiritual shoes. So thank you. Thank you for being there for him.
Remind me, how old is Grayson?
How old is Grayson now? I don't think he's that old. I think he's like maybe 5-ish. Annie, how old is Grayson, please? 7.
7. Yeah. It's so interesting with kids and when they connect with animals, because there's just unconditional love, and that's the connection. And that's it helps everything else fall away.
Yep. Yep. She says she shows him the energy from the trees also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if he truly stays open to these connections, Annie, I cannot wait to see what he grows up to do. Cannot wait to see it. We're so hungry for the kids coming in that have these spiritual connections.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Rhonda, we will get to you, but first we're going to go to Prachetta. Prachetta, of course, would like to hear from her parents.
Well, I'm feeling one card for both today. I feel, I know for here in the States anyway, I know Thanksgiving family time is coming up, but I feel family celebration is coming up also, Miss Prachetta, so.
Yep.
Feeling it. The love we share is always there. This feels it. I know that there's a lot of food connections with your family, and that's what it feels like, because I think there is a difference. I think people can actually taste a difference if food is made with love or if it's just slapped together. And I think that it's so important that you really remember that. And as you are making some of the traditional you know, things that your mom and dad used to celebrate, have the food together and what they would make. It feels like almost infusing it. It gets infused with your love when you are going through and making it and remembering the happy times together, either enjoying that food or making that food. But it feels like there's an infusion of the love that goes into it, and it's passed on to whoever is eating the food. I feel like it's kind of double in that you are getting the infusion of love as you are making it, but you are also able to pass on the infusion of love to others through their eating of it. That's what I get.
There's always food when we check in with your parents. But what I'm actually getting, Prachetta, is first they showed me, I think it's a marigold, the little button shaped flower that's orange. Is that a marigold? I think. But they're showing me a festival, and I don't know if there's any Indian festivals. It seems like there's always some kind of Indian festival going on. But what they showed me was like a snapshot of your family, mom, dad, your brother, and you laughing. And they stuck a little marigold behind one of your ears. And I see that you've got a chain of marigolds, you know, when you take the flowers and you can hook them together to make a necklace. So you're wearing that, and your brother has like stuck them into his buttonholes, and you guys are just being silly, and your parents are just being silly with you. And it's just like a snapshot picture of you guys enjoying each other and just enjoying being together and enjoying loving each other. Just a snapshot. And there is a festival, Diwali. Okay. Okay.
Oh, is that right now?
I think so.
New Year's?
Prachetta said Diwali. Yeah.
Seems like I heard somebody say that this morning, that it's New Year or something. Maybe I'm getting the wrong country mixed in there.
I don't know what Diwali means. I'm
I
not
don't know either.
But it's joy, that a festival of lights. Okay. And I think this is just a validation that your parents are with you and they're still enjoying with you. And even if Prachira isn't right where you are, in their energetic memories, you guys are together. And they're enjoying you in your youngness and your cuteness and your funness, but the love is just really intense with them. So once again, your parents show us that they are always, always with you. Always. Your parents, I think your parents win awards because they are so present with you all. And I think it's because you think of them so often. You keep them present in your space. No, it's Hindu New Year.
Okay.
So you were right. You were right. And Rhonda Elliott. She is open to a message for her as well. Rhonda, please let us know if there's anybody in particular that you were hoping to hear from, or if you're just wanting a message from whatever guides show up. FYI, Hindu New Year started today.
Hindu New Year, is that what you said? Hindu? Okay, got it. Yeah, so I did hear.
Yes, started today. Rhonda would like to hear from her mom or aunt.
Her mom or her aunt?
Or both. Okay.
Yeah, I was getting both, and I feel like I need to pull two cards.
Yeah, I'm getting them together myself, but
yeah, I feel like they're very, very close, but I feel like each wants their own card.
who are you doing first, mom or aunt?
Mom. That's right, mom. Mom. Where's Mom? And I'm gonna pull Aunt also.
Oh, they're sister-in-laws. Okay.
Yeah, I still think they're close, but yeah, I did. Maybe that's why each wants their own card, their own message. Oh, Aunt is taking a little bit longer. Oh, there. See, I say that and then. All right, Mom. I listen when you talk with me. So I don't know how long your mom has been on the other side, but my mom's been gone for a very, very, very long time. And almost every single morning as I'm having my first cup of coffee, I think what it would be like to have her sitting with me. And the conversations that we might have, even though I say, yes, 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 I know that you don't like coffee because she was never a coffee drinker. But I feel like the conversation would still be there. No matter whether I'm sitting across from what looks like an empty table or whether I'm walking in the woods, because that's what my mom and I used to do. She hears your conversations. And I feel like, see, and there go the chimes. And sometimes it's almost like you say something and you hear a response and you think it's just your imagination, but it truly really is your mom. So it's very cool. So hopefully Rhonda, you have lots of conversations with your mom.
It looks like Mom passed 31 years ago.
Okay. My mom still got you beat.
As I say, that's a lot of time without your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And she talks to her a lot.
Well, she hears you. Yay.
Mine is there together for mine. So do you want to share the aunt's message?
Oh, sure. Feel my presence.
Oh.
So this, it feels like it's on the similar vein, but I think because you had such a different relationship with each of them, even though you might have spent time at holidays together with both of them there, you still had a unique relationship with each one of them. And I think that there are different things that might come up that it's like, oh yeah, I remember doing that with my aunt. Oh yeah, I remember. So there are things that, and they might pop into your head just totally out of the blue. And I feel like it's your aunt going, I'm here, feel me. Like she's just giving you a little tap on the shoulder or tap on the head saying, yeah, I'm here. I am here. And you might actually even feel it at times when all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we used to talk about that, or we used to do that. And you might notice like, oh, I just felt a tap on my shoulder. So interesting.
So Rhonda, they showed me them together with you. So picture this. First, they showed me a tiny little dish that had a white flower in it. And it was very fragrant. I could tell, and I was trying to figure out, was it a gardenia? Was it a carnation? Well, we've learned that the flowers, oh, it was your Aunt Ruth. Aw.
I have an Aunt Ruth too.
She said she traveled with my Aunt Ruth on her adventures. I was trying to make it a gardenia and then it kind of morphed into a carnation. And what Sue and I have seen over and over again, the flowers of the ethereal realm are not the same as the flowers here.
Mhm.
So they might remind us of these, but they're not dead on, oh, that's a rose. So it was a white flower, and I was sensing this white flower, but then your mom used it to dab a little brush in it, and you were sitting in front of them. The aunt is to your left side, and she's like fatouching your hair and putting little sparkles in your hair. And your mom is using the flowerish, makeup-ish thing to do like makeup on your face. And they're laughing together, they're talking together. And yes, you're there, but they're doing sort of most of the talking to each other, laughing, but it's about nurturing you. And what I'm wondering is, because it was feeling like it was an event that you were preparing for, maybe even a wedding or some other special event, and you were thinking of them and sad that they weren't there with you in body, but they were absolutely there next to you, preparing you, loving you, right there with you. So that's and I'm getting goosebumps saying it. That's the message that they're sharing. They're with you. They are experiencing all the things that you're going through. You're not alone. They're right there, even if it's been 31 years. And it's sweet because they're there together. You know, that relationship is there in the ethereal. Very cool.
Mhm.
Rhonda gave a thank you. Okay. Anything else on Rhonda?
Mhm.
Sue? Okay.
Mhm.
You're welcome, Rhonda. Okay, so Andrea Gregg. Welcome, Andrea. Glad that you're here. Andrea says, my dad or mom. Thank you, Jen.
And I'm feeling like one card for the two of them.
It feels like mom is kind of going, whoa, wait, put me in front. There might be one card for the two, but it feels like mom is leading.
All right, so you want me to do one card for each, and you want mom first?
Mom is coming to the front.
All right, there's mom. Well, that's funny because I was getting dad first, but we'll go with what Ruth is
They
getting.
both want to be first, which is why I think mom was being so insistent.
Right, there's dad. All right, mom. It's a mom day. We share so many memories, and there go the chimes. I don't know if you can hear the chimes really loud right now. Long time ago. This was probably when I was in my 20s. I thought I better start writing down some of the memories that I had from my mom, because they were few and far between. And I did some, and I should have done way, way, way more. But just because you don't remember them consciously, they're still there. And I think as you go about your life, all of a sudden something might trigger a memory that you hadn't thought of for years. Maybe it was a past holiday or a past birthday, or just a time that you were spending together. And I get the feeling that she's saying, yeah, the memories are there. Don't fret about them. Don't worry that you might not remember all of them clearly, because they are there and they will show up when they are supposed to, just like she will be there to comfort you when you are feeling like especially missing her. So it's like they'll show up when they need to show up, whether it's a memory or whether it's truly she's saying, hey, I'm here, and comforting you in her way.
Your mom's making me cry. The picture that she was showing me was you two in the kitchen. It's a food kind of day today. And she and maybe the two of you together had made cookies. And she's feeding you a bite of the cookie. But with that bite of the cookie is all the love, all the things she wanted to teach you while you were growing up, all the things she wanted you to know, all the things she wanted for you is all coming in through that one bite. And it's just so love-filled, so nurturing. She loved you so much. I hope that this love that she's sharing for you right now, she was able to share with you in person, because the love she's showing for you right now is really intense and beautiful. I hope she was successful sharing that in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, Sue, because normally, I mean, this feels like it's got an intensity behind it that I don't normally feel when we're doing the readings. And maybe Andrea, she says it resonates with her strongly. Maybe there's something that you are going through right now that you feel like you're going through alone, and you're not. And she really wants you to know these things. She loves you. You're not alone. You're being nourished. You're being supported. But there's an intensity behind it. So
I do feel like what you're saying is almost like it, and whether it's she's going through something or right now she's not able to hear, feel, sense. So I think that's why it's so much stronger, because the word I'm hearing is penetrate. I have to penetrate through whatever it is that is going on. So, I mean, and even going back to, we share so many memories, as in the memory will show up when it's supposed to, and so will the love. And I think it is showing up, but there's something, Andrea, that's going on for you right now. And so get outside in nature. I just heard get outside. See, there go the chimes. It's like get outside in nature, because I feel like there's something almost like maybe you're spending too much time inside or spending too much time around other people, or something is going on, and it's just like, okay, you know what? I have to get out of here. I have to go for a walk. It's kind of like that. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, thank you. I can feel you, is what is coming.
okay. Yeah, very sweet. Beautiful message from your mother. Let's see what Dad has to say.
So Dad is, I feel your love every day. So this is feeling like there's, I want to say, the impression I'm getting is he took a back seat for some things. Not that you didn't show him love, but I think that maybe he didn't always show that he received your love, even though he loves you, and he loved you when he was here. But it's almost like, kind of the tough guy, tough facade. And it's like, yeah, I don't hug and maybe this isn't it, but it's kind of the impression I'm getting is, yeah, I don't hug in public kind of thing. And it's like, but I feel your love every single day. And now I think now he's like, yeah, I feel it. I feel your love. It's like you are sending out such a, it's almost like this picture of the sun just beaming. That's what he feels. So this sun beaming is you, and the beams coming out is the love that he feels coming from you every single day. So that's what I'm getting.
What your dad showed me, at first I thought he's blowing a pipe. At first I thought it was like a bubble pipe, right? But it wasn't bubbles. Excuse me, but I've got a lot of throat clearing right now with your dad. And it's only been with your dad, so I don't know what that is. Here's an off question. Andrea, did your dad smoke? Because I feel like I'm clearing smoke stuff out of my throat. And funny that I was shown a pipe, but it's not a pipe that blows bubbles. And I've never seen anything like this. I don't know if it exists, but it's a pipe that you blow into and a little man pops out. And it's meant to he never smoked. Okay. It's meant to make a kid laugh, right? Just this pipe with this man that pops out. So the message that I was getting, he wants to help you smile and laugh. It's kind of like if dad could send a message, it would be, life doesn't have to be this serious. And I don't know if he was really lighthearted in his lifetime here on the planet, or if he wanted to be, or maybe he realized life didn't have to be that serious for him either. So maybe he could teach you it doesn't have to be that serious here. But he definitely wants to help you smile and laugh.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good.
Yeah. My dad always said, pull my finger.
And you fell for it every time, didn't you, Sue?
No, I did not like that. I thought that was just the stupidest guy joke ever. It's like, no, Dad, I am not gonna pull your finger. You notice the chimes all of a sudden go crazy.
And Andrea said great messages. Thank you.
It's funny because my dad did smoke. And he actually, when he was younger, I mean, like in his, 20s, he did smoke a pipe. And I always liked the smell of a pipe. Always liked the smell of a pipe. It's a totally different smell than cigarettes.
Yep, totally different. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't see any other people that have requests right now. If you're watching and haven't come on and put down somebody that you want to hear from, please do that, and we'll take some time to do that. But Sue, any topics come up for you that you would like to talk about? Sorry?
Yes. I grabbed this. This is Grief Journal, one of the Grief journals, and it's just, but at the very beginning, it has just a few pages. And I just wanted, because the holidays are coming.
Yep.
So there's just a little section. It says, when grief comes knocking, what can you do about it? And sit with it is one of the things. Because sometimes I think people, they just want it. It's like, oh no, I'm feeling grief. I don't want it. I want to run. And you know what happens when you run from something, it's always going to find you. So sit with it, journal with it and about it, talk with it, and let it have a voice. Because sometimes grief it does sneak up on you, and something that comes up even today, maybe with a friend, or, something that just seems like it's an old emotion of grief that you never worked through. So sit and have a conversation with grief. Let any emotions attached come through, whether it's fear, whether it's anger, whether it's frustration, or whether it's guilt. Just allow them to come up. They might have a message. And maybe they're just meant to move on for today, but you might learn something. Light a candle to honor your loved ones. Create new traditions while honoring your loved ones, and any past traditions, maybe creating a new blend of both the old and the new. So whether it's, cooking, if you're cooking something from an old family, like my dad, I used to make stuffing. Well, I don't eat that kind of stuff anymore because I don't eat meat. So I have to have new traditions, whether I'm making something different, and say, okay, Dad, how does this look? I used to do that every single Thanksgiving when I was making stuffing. It's like, is that enough in there, Dad? Sweet. Close your eyes and remember. And then watch for the signs. Those are short, and they could be easy, they could be difficult depending on the amount of grief, because grief is not one of those things that it's a one and done.
No.
It's with you. It's because your parents, like I'll use my mom as an example. My mom has been gone since 1974.
Oh my gosh.
So quite a few years. And it's not like I'm forgetting her. And I'm sure she likes it because she's always 32, so she always looks really good. But they do say our loved ones are in their 30s. And I don't know how you see your loved ones, Ruth, but I see them as they were, unless I see them as light. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. You see them as they were at a particular age?
As they were when they were here.
Yes, but I mean, as a particular age when they were here? Did they always be the same age?
So my mom I see as the last I remember her. So that would have been in her 30s. My dad I remember in his 40s. And my grandparents, yeah, I see that. It's like I see their faces more so than seeing them as a beam of light, or just a floating cloud, or something like that. I see their faces.
I see my parents' faces, but it's interesting because as I see them, they're about 50. They're not the 30s that so often I see. So I don't know if that's just because, now keep in mind, I'm older than that, but I don't know if it's just that in my mind's eye, I want to see them as older than me that I can still go to for counsel.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still 10 years older than what I'm seeing them as. So that's kind of a silly thought, isn't it? But yeah, I don't see them as light per se. I actually kind of see their face and see a shape, to a body. But it was interesting because I heard my mom and my dad yesterday really quite clearly. And just like out of the blue, I was on a plane. And when I'm on a plane, I kind of half meditate, half go in a coma because I hate being in planes. And so I was sort of meditating, and I heard both of them very clearly. And it was like, okay, why are you both here? And I heard them both say soon. And I said, does that mean I will be seeing you soon? I said, if I'm going to be seeing you soon, great. I'm glad you're both going to be there. But are you talking about me? And it was like, no, but it was somebody else that we knew in common. And it was like, okay, that's interesting. And we had been feeling like this person was going to be passing kind of soon. So it'll be very interesting to see if this person really does pass soon, which, I mean, define soon in the spirit realm, because the spirit realm doesn't really do time. So it's always, coming from our own perspective, what does soon mean? But yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, since time is created by man.
Right. Right. So I have learned to say things like, will that happen in the 2024 year? Back off a little bit on the times if I give them the parameters, but yeah, soon doesn't really mean much in the spirit realm.
It does not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so interesting. I do think, the holidays can be such a happy time, and it can be such a sad time for people, but I think the more you incorporate your loved ones into your holidays, the smoother emotionally they will be.
Yeah. Yes, I do believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting time. I think there have been a lot of folks passing away this year. So there are a lot of people that are going into the holidays without a loved one that had been there before. So you're absolutely right about that.
Yep, that is definitely true. And the chimes are going crazy right now.
Yeah.
But yes, but we know just because they're not here in the physical, they definitely are not gone.
Yes, we've seen that over and over.
And I think too, on the holidays, it is almost a time when they show up more. So when you allow yourself to be open to the, lighting a candle. So what I'm seeing is lighting the candle and you'll be sitting there having a conversation about your loved one with other people, and all of a sudden the flicker, the flicker will start. And it's like, pay attention to those things, because, and I'm getting chills. Pay attention to those things, because that is one of the ways that they're saying, hey, just like the chimes, hey.
Yes. Yeah, but our dear friend Jeannie passed away end of August, and we would be in her backyard talking about her, or talking about, what we were going to do with the yard furniture or whatever. And this hummingbird kept coming by, and it would just be hanging out about 3 feet in front of us. And we're all looking at this hummingbird going, yeah, that's Jean, if she was just so present. And then I was in my backyard, and I had taken a piece of art from her backyard, and I was going to put it in my backyard. And I said, Jeannie, where should I put this? And the hummingbird shows up over in this one area. So I went and I put it there, and then the hummingbird was just hanging around there. And it was like, yeah, this just feels like her.
Yeah, hummingbirds, I don't know what it is about hummingbirds, but that's definitely a connection that a lot of people have with their loved ones.
Yeah, we were fortunate when we went to have her gravestone done a hummingbird was one of the options. And so that's what we put
Oh, that's cool.
on her gravestone. We went last week, I guess, took her ashes and her cousin's ashes back to Illinois and did a little, very little graveside thing. There were two of us. First for her cousin's ashes and then for her ashes. And then, he tamped down the earth, you couldn't even tell anybody had been there doing anything. And then we looked around and went, oh shoot, we forgot flowers. So we ran to the store and brought flowers, did a little graveside thing with flowers at both of theirs. But it was an absolutely beautiful day. And the river running next to it. And it was gorgeous out. But boy, did it feel like they had come home. Actually, as I was driving from Chicago to Geneva, which is where we left the ashes, I could feel the ashes. I could feel the energy connected with the ashes. And it was like two kids playing together. I mean, these two cousins were thick as thieves. And as adults, they traveled across the world together, always loved being together. And then I took her to him as he was dying, and he waited for her and died with her there. And then I brought her back home. But boy, those ashes came alive as we came into that hometown. And if the gal I was with was open to energy, I would have shared that with her, but she's really not, so I didn't. But boy, I could sure feel it.
Was it Lake Geneva?
No,
Geneva.
Geneva, Illinois.
So I know there's Lake Geneva because I'm trying to think, because Lake Geneva was within a couple of hours from where I grew up. And I'm trying to think where it was. I went on a vacation with a friend of mine, and I can't remember if it was Geneva or Lake Geneva. I'll have to look it up and see, because it was a cute town. I bought several crystals around the house from there.
Yeah, it was a cute town. Yeah, but it reminded me, I had taken the rest of my girlfriend's ashes to her hometown in Hawaii. We had, what did we do with all of it? Part of it was in the family plot. Part of it we had used to make beads so we could have some of her ashes with us. But the beads took hardly any at all. And so I had about a cup of her ashes left. And I thought, what am I going to do with this cup of her ashes? I had heard to take them to her home. I was going to Hawaii anyway, so I packed the ashes. And I had the ashes on the seat next to me as I'm driving through her neighborhood in Hawaii. Sue, those ashes came alive. They were so full of energy and so excited. It was crazy to feel the energy off of these ashes. And it just intensified as I drove, up the hill to her home. And I thought, okay, now what am I going to do with them? Right? I mean, nobody was at home, and I didn't really want to say to her sister, oh, here's another cup of your sister's ashes. And so as I got there, I'm looking, and they had big potted plants in the front of the house. So I put them around one of the potted plants. But it was just crazy to feel the energy that was connected to those ashes. I don't know. It really made me think twice about, when people go, oh, just scatter my ashes anywhere. It doesn't really matter. I'm thinking it kind of matters because your energy is still connected to those ashes. Have you ever felt that with ashes?
No, but I haven't been around ashes either. And I think it's also, to me, it would feel like to the person. So like, if I'm like, I don't care, scatter them in your backyard. So it doesn't matter to me, but if it mattered to her, I think that's why. So, because I'm like, yeah, I don't care where you scatter my ashes. Just make sure that I am ash and not buried anywhere.
Right. Well, it was funny too, because she was very clear. Her husband's ashes were not going in the family plot, right? And they knew what they wanted done with his, which was take him up hiking and scatter him in the mountains. But this friend had an extra bit of his ashes. And she said, I don't know what to do with them. You know, maybe we should put him in with Jeannie's plot. And I got this huge no. And it was like, nope, nope, nope. Do something else with them, but nope. Very interesting, the messages that we get. Yeah.
Well, and it goes to pay attention to what people want. So if somebody does want to be, puts a certain place, listen to that.
Right. Yeah. No, it is interesting. We've actually never spoken about ashes before on this show, so that's a first for us.
Yeah, and I've never experienced ashes, so.
Yeah, intriguing. All right, Sue, we are out of time for today. So friends, thank you so much for being here with us today. Join us again next month, second Monday of the month. What is that date, Sue?
December 11, 12/11.
12/11. All right. So friends, take good care. God bless. We'll see you all soon. Thank you, Sue.